Hold on, let's try to make this make sense.
3/5 of a person? What's up, fam? Welcome to another Tay and Steph
reaction video. In this reaction video, we're going to react to the Electoral College Explained. On this channel, we're trying to hit 60K, like and subscribe. Let's get into the video.
If you watch the news during a presidential election, you'll hear a lot of this.
What do the national polls look like?
Hillary Clinton's national lead. Nationally, Joe Biden is currently ahead.
But these national polls don't actually tell you who's going to win.
Throw the national polls out the window. They don't matter at all. What matters are those swing states.
Yes, the swing states. Most democracies around the world elect their head of state with a popular vote, so whoever gets the most votes wins. But in America, we do it a little differently. The US is the only country that picks its president using something called the Electoral College. It's made up of delegates from each US state. When Americans vote for president, what they're actually voting for is who their state will vote for. This is why, every so often, someone wins the presidency without winning the popular vote. That's happened twice in just the past 20 years. The majority of Americans do not like the system.
I did not know that.
What happened?
You understand what they're saying?
No.
Okay, so say you have 100 votes total. All right. You have 100 votes and you have 10 states.
Right.
So if you have 100 votes and 90 people vote for, we're going to use Trump and Biden.
Okay.
They vote for Biden.
Right.
90 people vote for Biden. But those 90 people was only in one state. If the rest of them sprinkle the 10 votes for Trump, the 9 votes left for Trump still win. Was 10 votes. Yeah, because if he get 90 in one state,
right,
that one state say that's a Biden vote. It's one state. Trump can get one, missing a finger. Add another finger. He can get 10 votes in 10 different states and he still win. Because he won by the states, even though this person got 90 votes.
Gotcha.
That's crazy.
And haven't for a long time. Both political parties have made attempts to get rid of it. So why does the US still use the Electoral College? And who actually benefits from it?
You learn something
The
new every day.
Electoral College is based on how people are represented in Congress, where each state has a number of representatives based on its population, and every state also gets 2 senators. So, for example, let's look at Texas, which has a huge population, and Vermont, which has a really small one. Texas has 36 representatives in Congress. Vermont only gets 1. Representatives in both states each represent roughly the same number of people. In the Electoral College, a state gets the same number of delegates as their congressional representatives, plus 2 for each senator. So Texas has 38 electoral votes, Vermont has 3. But this combination makes the number of people each delegate represents way different between states. In Texas, 1 electoral delegate represents 3 times the amount of people as 1 in Vermont. And that makes each individual person's vote in Vermont a lot more influential. The Electoral College creates discrepancies like this all over the country. A voter in Wyoming is worth 3.5 times as much as a voter in California. And the winner of the presidential election is the candidate who gets 270 or more of these Electoral College votes.
That's interesting.
These are the results of the 2016 election by state. You're probably more familiar with this version of it, a map of red states and blue states. But this chart tells a different story. You can see that no state is actually all red or all blue. But almost every state awards its electoral votes the same way. The candidate who gets the most votes in a state gets all its electoral votes. If they win the state by 1%, they win 100% of the electoral votes. In 2016, more than 4 million people voted for Donald Trump in California. In fact, more people voted for him there than in any other state except for 2.
Dang.
But it didn't matter. Hillary Clinton got more votes there, so she got all 55 of its electoral votes.
Wow.
Clinton never even campaigned in California. Polling showed she'd easily win the state. Trump only visited Texas once. He knew he'd basically had that state's electoral votes locked. But they both visited Florida 35 or more times. That's because Florida is usually a swing state. polls show that the vote there could swing to one party or another nearly every election. Trump only won it in 2016 by 100,000 votes, out of more than 9 million. Swing states have changed over time.
So then that probably why it's matter when they be talking about people messing with the votes.
Right.
Something like that.
Right.
That's probably why that matter.
Thanks to shifting demographics and political views. And it's states like these where presidential candidates spend most of their time campaigning. It also means these states have way more influence over the election than these ones. A study found that voters in Michigan had 51 times the amount of influence on the 2016 election as someone from a state like Utah. Voters in states like California or Missouri mattered very little. Swing states are where the election actually takes place. They get the attention and the influence, and they only exist because of the Electoral College. It doesn't seem very fair, but the Electoral College has always shifted power away from some people and towards others. It was how it was designed. Back when there were just a few states, not 50, they had to get all the states to agree on the Constitution. One problem. The northern states, which were largely anti-slavery, wanted only free people to count in the population towards electoral votes, which they had more of. The pro-slavery southern states were worried that they would be constantly outvoted and wanted enslaved people to count in determining the population. As a compromise, they settled on something called the 3/5 clause. It established that an enslaved person would only count as 3/5 of a person.
What?
In 1800, Pennsylvania, a northern state, and Virginia...
Oh, let's try to make this make sense.
3/5 of a person? Yeah, that's crazy.
So that is about 60% of a person. What is 3/5? 3/5. Yeah, 60%. That boy good at math. Dang, that's crazy. So that's dang or half a person. You saying?
Right.
That's crazy. We ain't gonna talk about it. Let us know in the conversation what y'all think about 3/5 of a person. Y'all think that's legit?
Insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
a southern one, had about the same number of free people living there. But Virginia was also home to hundreds of thousands of enslaved people who had no freedom, let alone a vote, and ended up with more votes in the Electoral College than Pennsylvania. That year, those extra electoral votes gave the candidate from Virginia just enough to win. Even after the U.S. finally abolished slavery and eventually gave Black Americans the right to vote, white Southern leaders found ways to keep them from voting, like with discriminating laws like poll taxes and acts of violence. This meant they continued to have overrepresentation in the Electoral College on behalf of a large population that couldn't vote. The first time Congress attempted to replace the Electoral College with a simple popular vote was back in 1816, but senators from southern states blocked it, saying it would be deeply injurious to them. In 1969, Congress came even closer. Replacing the Electoral College had support in both parties and even passed the House, but it was blocked again by Southern senators. A senator from Alabama wrote, "The Electoral College is one of the South's few remaining political safeguards. Let's keep it. Why change a system that historically had and still was benefiting white Southerners?" Today, the states that the Electoral College benefits have changed, but it's still making some voters more powerful than others. If we look at the states with a lot of electoral votes for not a lot of people, and the states with a little electoral votes for a lot of people, these states are a lot wider and less diverse than the rest of America.
That's a fact. Because I don't think a lot of black people live in Rhode Island, South Dakota. You feel me? A lot of black people live in Alabama.
That
you feel
is
me?
true. Is Georgia on there? I don't even see Georgia.
Nah.
Georgia.
Wyoming. No, I don't think a lot of black people live in Wyoming.
Any of these states are Republican.
But you got niggas in Texas, you got niggas in New York,
Right.
California, Ohio.
Hello.
New Jersey. Niggas definitely in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Strongholds. These tend to vote Democratic. That's one reason the two most recent Republican presidents have won the Electoral College without winning the popular vote. And since it's currently Democrats that are primarily disadvantaged by the Electoral College, they're the ones leading the charge to replace it with a popular vote.
Get rid of the Electoral College
But as politics have changed, the people most critical of the electoral...
Oh, I tried other part, but I feel like I never understood why people say they don't feel like they vote count.
Right.
That's probably why you don't feel like the vote count.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying, especially if you recognize the area you're in, probably you probably like, man,
it don't matter.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. If you Republican and you in a space where it's 10 niggas and you the only white person there, you're gonna be like, the 10 niggas probably gonna vote Democrat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So does your vote count? I mean,
right.
It depends on how you look at it. But it's, you know what I'm saying, it's almost over with. You know what I'm saying? That's not against one, you do the math.
Yeah.
College have two.
It's crazy.
In the 1948 presidential election, New York ended up being the major swing state. A congressman from Texas said, "I have no objection to the Negro in Harlem voting, but I do resent the fact that his vote is worth 100 times as much as the vote of a white man in Texas." Swing states change. What doesn't is that the Electoral College gives certain people more power to pick the president.
I'm waiting for you to pull that out.
And its biggest defenders have always been those who benefit the most from it.
Shout out to Vox for that video, man. I rock with that. Y'all let us know what y'all think about this video about the Electoral College. Should it be done away with?
Right.
Or should it stand? Let us know. I'm interested to see. I say I have a little knowledge, but just off this video, if this is the only exposure, because it is the only exposure, it's my first time reacting to this video, I say do away with it. That's what I say.
Yeah, I think it's still crazy just to think about the votes of an enslaved person being 3/5 of a person. Yeah,
don't forget that. Let us know 3/5. What y'all think about that in the comment section. But based on this little knowledge that I got, only the information of the video, I'll say do away with it. Every vote should count. That's what I would say. If I voted, I want my vote to count.
Yeah.
If it don't count, then it's
if you're taking time out of your day, you know what I'm saying? Like, people have jobs. Like, you take your time out, you stand in long lines just for your vote not to count. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Which is probably why you call it a poll. Because a poll is simply you choose which one based on, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know that to be true, but if you understand what a poll is from just a regular poll, if you get a poll on YouTube. Yeah,
that's a good analogy. You
know what I'm saying? It's like, pick whoever get the most one, that's the one we choose. So if you look at a poll within a state, maybe. Yeah. So I understand a little bit of it. Let us know, man. We love you guys. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. Let us know what we should react to next in the comment section down below. We will see you guys
in the next video. Peace.